rolling. Sweet.
Bruise Control magazine is just like a raw look into what the scene has become as of lately. We kind of shoot it a lot like Eric Andre style, right? We'll take people down to our nasty basement and we'll take them into the scary room and we'll start chain smoking cigarettes and trying to make people uncomfortable, but a lot of the bands don't get uncomfortable, they get really into it. We'll just assume the most invasive personal questions we possibly can to see what kind of weird reactions we can get. All while we force feed them Irish car bombs. If you've never had an Irish car bomb, it's quite delicious. You see what you do is you crack a Guinness, right? And you pour about half of it into a solo cup and the other half into another solo cup because obviously you're doing it with your buddies, you know. And you take a shot glass and you fill it half full of Baileys and half full of Irish whiskey. And when everyone's ready, you get your shots, you plop them in, and then you gotta chug immediately.
Everyone's having too much sex. I think that everyone needs to keep it in their pants, and
that's crazy.
Or like you take a step back and you see like the kind of community that's formed here, and it feels stupid to not, you know what I mean? It feels stupid to not do something from that.
Yeah,
You know?
no, exactly.
And so having all these talented people around you who all have creative visions and being able to harness that, the one thing, in my opinion, is very important and very beautiful. You know?
Hell yeah.
So that was probably one of my main reasons, was that I was seeing the things going on around me and I understood that like this could be written down and recorded and people would enjoy that. College town, there's a lot of fresh faces here every year, people from all walks of life, you know what I mean? And so being able to bridge that gap between the people who have, you know, who have lived here for maybe generations, you know, and all the fresh faces, it's a crazy amalgamation, you know? Being able to provide a platform for people who have a creative vision, you know, and being able to promote them and, you know, basically give them a soapbox to do what they want to do. Because like I said, like it's all here, like all of that creative energy, all of that talent, it's all here festering. There just needs to be an outlet. And I feel like creating that conduit is very important.
I agree. I think that's a beautiful mission, I think. Especially like
Sorry, Luke said send boobs, and I sent boobs. Yeah. I had to send Luke boobs, sorry. It was important. It's for the plot.
Two-way, because you know you have the performer performing to the audience, but it should be a two-way street. You know, it should be a two-way street. And having these, because a lot of the times you can see an artist get put on a pedestal and not be treated so much as a person as much as they should be.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think having that two-way street and having that open communication, like I think the open mics are really cool because you know anyone can get on, they can play.
Yeah,
and the line between performer and audience member is blurred, and I think that's the kind of line that we need to dance.
Surrounded by six string, on my front porch swing. Smell the shrimp they're beginning to pour. Wasting away again in Margaritaville.
You know, obviously I knew like the chorus or whatever, and every time I hear that song, I'm all like fucked up or something.
Margarita,
You know?
you feel like you could be like.
You've never heard it sober?
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe. It's a possibility.
It's a possibility. It's just that song, man. You got to be at Margaritaville.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen like the Margaritaville like restaurants?
I've never been to one.
I saw
but
one.
yeah,
I went to Dollywood a few years ago, and they had a Margaritaville there. I was like, this is so strange. Like,
my 16-year-old sister and her friend got served at a Margaritaville like a lot.
awesome.
It's awesome.
The thing about the Bruise Control magazine is that a lot of it is hazing. A lot of it is buttering up your interviewee to get more and unhinged and raw responses. Just complete like, because you know you find in a lot of times like, especially when performers are still in their performer mode, you know, that they have to an extent walls put up, you know, and so a lot of like the environment, like the heckling, a lot of that is taking those walls down and getting that raw opinion of just exactly like getting to the heart of it, you know, and it's fun, you know. It's in the spirit of DIY.
What is it like to be interviewed by Bruise Control?
It was great. It was a great experience. I have thought that I regretted how I answered the question, tell us about your first girlfriend. But other than that, I felt good about the interview.
One note about Bruise Control magazine. Anything that they don't want in the magazine, we don't put in there at their discretion. However, we do harass during interviews. But anything that they don't want in there... Dude, I mean, when we were doing the Bruise Control interviews in the basement, the bandmates were finding things out about each other that they hadn't learned.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's
and it was
really
like,
cool.
yeah, it was like really personal stuff.
It was really fun.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I think the hazing is very important for Bruise Control.
It's a key factor.
It's a key factor because we get those raw, unbridled responses.
That's like, I feel like you could turn that into a tagline, like raw,
Raw
unbridled.
and unbridled.
Raw and unbridled. Do you guys have a tagline?
The tally, raw and unbridled.
Ron on Bridal was pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
That's pretty, yeah.
I'm copywriting
That's pretty
that.
raw.
I'm copywriting that.
Obviously, we live right next door to the
Right.
police station,
Yeah.
and they'll come over from time to time. We get sound permits for pretty much every show, though.
That's cool.
And, you know, they'll come over if they get a call, but it's pretty rare. And they're pretty understanding about it. I mean, they come over and it's like two guys and they be kind of good cop, bad cop us, whatever. But, I mean, the tally doesn't even have its own page. Like, there's nothing for them to follow. It's all word of mouth. And, overall, I think they fuck with what we're doing. I love all the photography that goes on in the scenes. I love to see all the videos. It's just like, that's how we're getting put on the map. I mean, shit, there was people at Uptown just yesterday and Friday for Makes Music Normal, and that's like the first time that's kind of happened. Like where a lot of these more underground bands like this are getting out here. I've been here this is getting on 3 years now. Right? And the first show I saw, I think it was at the coffee house. I just kind of stumbled in one day after work. I was like skating around. I just saw something going on. And I was like $5. I got that in cash and I just walked in. Sick. And yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
You have the hour to play.
True, dude.
Frequency shoes.
Right now, no.
Let's have one.
I'll take a organ.
I just started going out to shows. I think my first show was Birdfest 2.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, I was ever going out to a show.
Was that last year or the year before?
2021? Oh god, I don't know. Don't ask me questions like that.
this time, I would never miss a show. My job would allow for me to go to pretty much every show in town, other than like a weekday show. And I don't know, I just always loved music. I play guitar, bass, just like by myself. And I wanted to find people that were also doing this, and I found out that there was this whole thing going on here.
Seeing this happening, seeing Stumbling Blocks, seeing DIY, I was like, this is something I want to be a part of, you know what I mean? This is something I want to do. So, you know, bought this house and like, oh, we didn't buy it. We rented it out in August, you know? And we had a detached garage, and that was pretty much in the back of our heads, like, the entire time. Like,
That
when
was
we first
one
got,
of the biggest reasons we got this
yeah,
house.
it was in the back of our heads the entire time, and we're just getting it into motion, and it's going so much better than anyone could have ever imagined or figured.